ITV नेक्स्ट मीडिया इंटरनेशनल स्कूल का ये कोर्स आपके एंकरिंग स्किल्स को करेगा इतना सशक्त, मजबूत, जिससे आप बनेंगे पत्रकारिता की दुनिया का वो चमकता चेहरा जो दुनिया देखेगी और पसंद करेगी।
A known Baloch writer, Mir Yar Baloch, has claimed Balochistan's independence from Pakistan.
Not only Baloch, Pashtun, Sindhis, and even POJK people are not willing to stay with this Maulvi Assamonies.
A known Baloch writer, Mir Yar Baloch, has claimed Balochistan's independence from Pakistan.
It is now confirmed that India has carried out 9 strikes into Pakistan. There you have it. It's a large explosion that has taken place. You can hear the sound of the missile coming.
Good morning, you're watching Newsx with me, Devika Chopra. We begin with some source-based information coming in. Sources have stated that Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri has briefed delegations on Operation Sindoor as well as the recent tensions between India and Pakistan before they are heading for their respective diplomatic missions. As per sources, Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri affirmed that the decision to stop military action was taken bilaterally and no third country was involved after US President Donald Trump repeated assertions that the ceasefire was guided by the US administration. Vikram Misri also asserted that it was Pakistan that requested India for a ceasefire. Sources have revealed that the Foreign Secretary also reaffirmed the government's call that the Indus Water Treaty will be kept in abeyance until Pakistan stops terrorism. My colleague Brian Thomas with us on the broadcast. Brian, take our viewers through the details.
Well, Devika, clearly, during a very briefing also by the MEA to the Parliamentary Committee, members of Parliament across party lines expressed the appreciation also for Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri, acknowledging his leadership and service to the nation during this very sensitive diplomatic phase. Now, clearly, also the sources like we have been saying that it has indicated that there was a rather collective desire among them to now pass a resolution to express solidarity with the Foreign Secretary in light of the unwarranted criticism of that. Even Vikram Misri himself also reportedly requested that no such resolution would be adopted, offering the focus of the mission at hand, and also said that there was no third party or third country influence, but it was a bilateral decision, and Pakistan requested for the ceasefire to happen. And even there was a significant revelation also during the same meeting where clearly Misri clarified the decision to halt military operation post Operation Sindoor was nothing but a bilateral move between both India and Pakistan without any involvement of any third party, third country itself. And also he stated unequivocally also that Pakistan had rather requested us, rather India, for a ceasefire, underlining India's independent and firm handling of the very situation. Yes.
Brian, stay on with me. More news coming in. JDU MP Sanjay Kumar Jha, who is leading one of the delegations on India's Operation Sindoor outreach, has arrived at the Delhi airport to depart for Japan. He has also confirmed that the delegation will brief the partner states about the Indus Water Treaty. Listen in.
देखिए, एक सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा है कि दुनिया में प्रधानमंत्री 7 डेलीगेशन भेज रहे हैं। अभी हम लोग जा रहे हैं और हमारा डेलीगेशन जापान, साउथ कोरिया, इंडोनेशिया, मलेशिया और सिंगापुर जा रहा है। सबसे बड़ा इशू है कि ये आतंकवाद जो है वो पाकिस्तान की स्टेट पॉलिसी है, इनके नकाब को उतारना। ये आतंकवाद कोई वहाँ से कोई 2-4 लोग ऐसे नहीं आते हैं, पूरा स्टेट उसको स्पॉन्सर करता है, पूरा थ्राइव करता है स्टेट के सपोर्ट से। इस बात को पूरे दुनिया में जा कर के बताना। और दूसरी बात जो है, जो एक न्यूक्लियर ब्लफ है, जो हमेशा बोलता है कि मैं आतंक कोई घटना हो गई तो न्यूक्लियर ये कोई, इस ब्लफ को भी ख़त्म करना कि ऐसा नहीं होगा कि हम आपके आतंकवाद और हमारे यहाँ आकर के टेररिस्ट एक्टिविटी करते रहिए और उसको हम झेलते रहेंगे। तीसरा है सिंधु इंडस रिवर का जो इशू है, वो सब इशू जब भी 1960 में हुआ उस समय उसका सबसे बड़ा था कि फ्रेंडली और कॉपरेशन के रहेगा दोनों कंट्री में।
Brian, has the first delegation now left?
Well, clearly, Devika, they are en route to Japan. And like even when the soundbite played, Sankumar Jha, who is also leading one of the all-party delegations, also was still at the Delhi airport. They are en route for their departure to Japan, also, which is the first stop of their ground 5, group 5 tour as well. And clearly, he only in his very soundbite also said that they will first going to Japan, where they are en route for that very place, then for South Korea, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore. Now, very importantly, he also mentioned that the core issue would be rather highlighting that the terrorism has become Pakistan's state policy, and we will also take this message across the world and expose their persistent nuclear bluff also. And then also he clearly stated that India has made it very clear that we will not tolerate any form of terrorism. And rather also, before departing for Japan itself, he has also emphasized that the delegation will also brief host countries on India's concerns regarding these IWT, the India's border treaty, framing it as part of a broader effort to counter Pakistan's misinformation and aggressive posturing on global platforms. And this delegation tour also comes after Operation Sindoor also that we've been covering intensely. And now, yes, they are on route to Japan. That is the first stop towards the delegation itself. And then post that we will be visiting to South Korea, Indonesia, Malaysia, and lastly Singapore itself. Yes.
Okay. Brian, let's quickly listen into some more reactions that have come in.
जो आज रहा हम निकल रहे हैं, जापान जाएंगे, जापान से कोरिया, फिर सिंगापुर, मलेशिया, इंडोनेशिया, ये 5 देशों में हम जा रहे हैं। सांसदों का ग्रुप है, कुछ एक्सपर्ट्स हैं, और वहाँ ये हमारा जो काम है, वहाँ जा कर के पाकिस्तान जो आतंकिस्तान बन गया है उसकी करतूतों को उजागर करेंगे। ये बहुत ही आवश्यक है, क्योंकि पाकिस्तान ने जिस तरह से हरकत की है वो हमारे देश में तमाम बड़ी बड़ी आतंकी घटनाएं करता रहा, लेकिन इसका जवाब देना शुरू हुआ 2016 जब उरी में किया इन्होंने, हमने सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक किया। 2019 में किया, पहलगाम पर 40 सीआरपी जवान मारे, तो हमने बालाकोट पर एयर स्ट्राइक किया। और अब हम सोचते थे ये सुधर जाएगा, लेकिन सुधरा नहीं, और 22 अप्रैल को हमारे 28 लोगों की नृशंस हत्या कर दी। प्रधानमंत्री ने कहा था हमें आतंकी ठिकानों को बर्बाद करना, हम करेंगे, मिट्टी में मिला देंगे, और हम लोगों ने मिट्टी।
Yeah, our delegation is now leaving for Japan. As I have been always telling that this is a public diplomatic outreach to send across the message of India that the world have to unite against terrorism, and this is a high time that the countries need to rally with India in its concerns against terrorism. So we'll be having meetings, freewheeling discussions with the different sections of the people, state actors and also non-state actors, like say civil society, think tanks, media, academicians, ministers, parliament team, etc. We hope that we can convey the view of our nation.
Meanwhile, in other news, a massive Tiranga Yatra organized by the Sikh community in Delhi to honour the Indian Armed Forces following Operation Sindoor is now underway. Delhi Minister Majinder Singh Sirsa has participated in the event. Chief Minister Rekha Gupta also reached the venue and has spoken about the grand rally. Listen in.
देश की सेवा के लिए, देश की रक्षा के लिए, देश की एकजुटता के लिए हमेशा हमारा खासा पंथ आगे रहा है, और आज की ये तिरंगा यात्रा भी यही संदेश देने के लिए है कि देश का, सिख समाज का हर एक व्यक्ति, हर एक भाई इस मातृभूमि पे मर मिटने के लिए हमेशा तैयार खड़ा है, देश की सेनाओं के साथ है, देश के प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के आदेश के साथ में एक एक व्यक्ति सरहद पे निहत्था खाली हाथ भी खड़े होने के लिए तैयार है। बधाई देती हूँ सिख समाज के मेरे सभी भाइयों को, उनकी देशभक्ति की भावना को, जिन्होंने आज इतनी बड़ी तिरंगा यात्रा दिल्ली में आयोजित करी। मैं बहुत बहुत बधाई साथ।
My colleague Arzu stayed with us on the broadcast. Arzu, take our viewers through the details. We're now learning that the BJP has been part of a Tiranga rally in the national capital.
Well, definitely there were several Tiranga Yatra that is being carried out by Bharatiya Janata Party, and in fact today the Khalsa Tiranga Yatra being carried out by the Sikh community, and also the Tiranga Yatra in Delhi was a great event that drew the thousands of people to honor the Indian Armed Forces for their bravery in the Operation Sindoor, and also the event aimed to show the solidarity with the armed forces and celebrate their success in Operation Sindoor, which targeted the terrorist camp and in fact killed more than 100 terrorists in the Operation Sindoor. The key participants were Delhi Chief Minister Rekha Gupta, in fact Marjinder Singh Sirsa, the Delhi's minister, and in fact there were earlier also there were several Tiranga Yatras that were being carried out, in which there were other key leaders of Bharatiya Janata Party who participated, and thousands of Delhiites also participated, carrying the tricolor flag, chanting patriotic slogans, Vande Mataram, and other slogans were being raised, and also the aggression that was being showed by the public against the Pakistan, because this is not the first time when Pakistan has done something, but earlier also there were reaction that the India has given to Pakistan, and definitely this time also Ghar mein ghus kar marenge is the slogan that is being given and is being showcased to the world also, that India is not going to tolerate any terrorist activity. Yes, Devi.
Okay, I'll just stay on with me. More news coming in. The hearing of the National Herald money laundering case involving Congress leaders Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi has begun at the Rouse Avenue Court. The court is hearing the matter to decide whether to take cognizance of the charge sheet filed by the Enforcement Directorate. After this, the court will consider the request of the original complaint and BJP leader Subramaniam Swamy for a copy of the charge sheet. Remember, the case came to light in 2012 when Subramaniam Swamy accused Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi of fraud, criminal misappropriation and breach of trust in the acquisition of Associate Journals Limited by Young India Limited. My colleague Sambhav Sharma with us on the broadcast. Sambhav, take our viewers through the details, please.
Well, the hearing in the National Herald money laundering case is underway in the Rouse Avenue Court, and the court is hearing this matter over, whether to take cognizance of the charge sheet filed by the Enforcement Directorate or not. And Additional Solicitor General S.V. Raju is representing Enforcement Directorate inside the courtroom, and on the other hand, Gandhis are being represented by Senior Advocate Abhishek Manu Singhvi in the courtroom. Abhishek Manu Singhvi has requested the court to postpone the matter for hearing till July, stating that he had only recently received a copy of the charge sheet filed by Enforcement Directorate, wherein Enforcement Directorate questioned Gandhis on several fronts and also accused them of money laundering, especially making Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi, including Sam Petroda, as accused in the money laundering case involving in this big National Herald case. And however, Additional Solicitor General S.V. Raju, who is representing the Enforcement Directorate, opposing this request, particular request of Abhishek Manu Singhvi of postponing the matter, and saying that that charge sheet had already been filed and provided in the previous hearing. It's up to them. Why have they not read the charge sheet? We are very much ready, as in the Enforcement Directorate and ASG S.V. Raju is very much ready to argue the matter today, and the hearing is underway in this matter in the Rouse Avenue Court.
All right, Sambhav, thank you for joining us on the broadcast. Meanwhile, in other news, heavy rain and strong winds impact Mumbai, causing 29 trees to fall and injuring 2 people, the fire brigade has stated. A portion of a house also collapsed at one spot with no injuries. Fires broke out at 18 places, but no casualties have been reported so far. So rain, of course, continues to wreak havoc in the city of Mumbai. My colleague Shahid Ansari with us on the broadcast. Shahid, take our viewers through the details. What's the latest as far as the rainstorm in Mumbai is concerned?
देविका देखिए, मुंबई में कल बीती रात जो है जो तेज़ हवाओं के साथ जो है तेज़ बारिश रिकॉर्ड की गई है। कई इलाकों पे जो है देखिए पानी भर गया है, जिसमें से मुंबई के सबर्बन इलाके में जो है अंधेरी सबवे उसमें पानी भर गया, साकी नाका और दूसरे इलाकों में जो है ज़्यादा पानी भर गया, जिसकी वजह से आवाजाही पे काफ़ी दिक्कतें पेश आई। इसके साथ साथ जो है मुंबई में तेज़ हवाओं के साथ जो बारिश हुई है उसमें तकरीबन 29 पेड़ जो है ज़मीन पर गिर गए, जबकि 2 लोग जो है इसमें ज़ख्मी भी हुए हैं। और इसके साथ साथ जो है मुंबई में छोटी मोटी कुल 18 जगहों पे जो है आग की वारदातें पेश आई है, लेकिन कोई बहुत ज़्यादा हताहत नहीं हुई, कोई जानी नुकसान नहीं हुआ। इसके अलावा एक घर का कुछ हिस्सा गिरा है, उसके बाद भी जो है कोई जानी नुकसान नहीं हुआ। लेकिन तेज़ बारिश और तेज़ हवाओं के सबब जो है मुंबई के कई इलाकों में, खासकर जो निचले इलाके हैं उन इलाकों में जो है पानी जमा हो गया, जिसकी वजह से ट्रैफिक को जो है बड़ी दिक्कतों का सामना करना पड़ा। पानी जमाव की वजह से खासकर जो है अंधेरी सबवे और दूसरे जगहों पे जो निचले इलाके हैं वहाँ पे फ़ौरन पानी जमा हो गया, जिसकी वजह से प्रशासन को जो है इस सबवे को बंद करना पड़ा। आपको मैं बताऊं कि मौसम विभाग ने घोषणा की है कि आने वाले 3 से 4 दिन तक जो है हालात कुछ ऐसे ही रहने वाले हैं, तेज़ हवाओं के साथ तेज़ बारिश हो सकती है। इसके साथ साथ जो है मौसम विभाग ने लोगों को एहतियात बरतने की भी अपील की है। साथ में जो है निचले इलाके में जो लोग रहते हैं और ख़ासकर समुद्री इलाके में जो तटवर्ती क्षेत्र में जो लोग रहते हैं उन्हें भी जो है एहतियात बरतने के लिए कहा है। ज्वार भाटा के समय या हाई टाइड जब जिस वक्त हो तो उस वक्त भी कहा गया है कि आप जो है अपने घरों में रहें, या तो इस बात का ख्याल रखें कि पानी घर तक ना आए, जो खासकर जो है समुद्र तट पर जो घर बसे हुए हैं। इसके अलावा मुंबई के जो निचले इलाके हैं उन निचले इलाकों में भी जो है पानी जल जमाव को लेकर भी जो है बीएमसी पूरी तरह से अलर्ट है, चूँकि पहली बारिश हुई है और ये बेमौसम बारिश हुई, जिसको गुमान नहीं था। हालांकि मौसम विभाग ने पहले ही घोषणा की थी, लेकिन उम्मीद नहीं थी कि इतनी ज़्यादा तेज़ हवाओं के साथ बारिश होगी। उसकी वजह से बीएमसी के जो कर्मचारी हैं वो रात भर उन इलाकों में तैनात रहे जहाँ पे जल जमाव रहा है। इनमें से साकी नाका, अंधेरी और मुंबई सबब के कई इलाके ऐसे हैं जो पानी जिसकी वजह से कम 2 से 3 फीट पानी इन इलाकों में भर गया था। हालांकि सबवे को इसलिए बंद कर दिया गया क्योंकि अगर किसी भी तरह से ट्रैफिक की दिक्कत होती है तो इस सबवे में जाने वालों को जो है परेशानी ना पैदा हो, या गाड़ी में पानी जमा होने की वजह से कोई जानी नुकसान ना हो। क्योंकि एक बार ऐसा हो चुका है कि सबवे में इसी तरह से पानी जमा होने की वजह से एक मौत भी हो गई थी गाड़ी में बैठे होने की वजह से। अब मौसम विभाग की घोषणा के मुताबिक जो है आने वाले 3 से 4 दिन इसी तरह से जो है तेज़ हवाओं के साथ जो है बारिश हो सकती है। इसके अलावा ग्रामीण इलाकों में भी जो है कई जगहों पर ये हालात देखने को मिले हैं। बीएमसी ने इस तेज़ हवा और बारिश के वजह से इसको मद्देनज़र रखते हुए मुंबई में जर्जर इमारतों को लेकर नोटिस भी जारी कर दी है, और जो जर्जर इमारतें हैं उन इमारतों में रहने वालों को जो है घर भी खाली करके महफूज मुकाम पर शिफ्ट करने की बात कही है। साथ साथ जो ट्रांजिट जो कैंप है उसमें भी जाने के लिए कहा गया है। जी।
Okay, Shahid, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast with those details. Meanwhile, in more breaking news coming in, a massive explosion has been reported in Balochistan's Khuzdar district after a Pakistan Army bus was reportedly targeted near Khuzdar 0 point. There are reports coming in of a mass casualties. However, the figure has not yet been revealed. According to local sources, a bus carrying military personnel and a convoy leaving from Kent was the target of the explosion. My colleague Aditya Wadvan with us on the broadcast. Aditya, take our viewers through the details. We're learning that more Pakistani army vehicles are being targeted.
Well, absolutely, Devika. In the latest attack by the Balochistan Liberation Army, several convoys of the Pakistani army have been attacked. And particularly in the recent past, we have seen such attacks by the Balochistan Liberation Army have increased. Some back a video was released by the BLA, wherein the BLA fighters were seen gunning down the Pakistani army in the Bolan province of Balochistan, and such spate of attacks have manifoldly increased in the times to come, because there are growing voice by the Balochis that they want independence from Pakistan, because Pakistan for quite some time has been committing a genocide against the Balochis, and recently we have seen there have been several kidnapping of several Balochi youths by the Pakistani army. There were some reports that by unidentified men, some of the Balochi youths were kidnapped in Pakistan's capital Islamabad, and these spates of attack are expected to grow up against the Pakistani army, because the BLA has upped its attack. And also, if we let us just put this into perspective, that BLA is opposed to the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor project in the Balochistan province, and they are also continuously targeting the CPEC project because they see Pakistan and Chinese presence in Balochistan as an infringement, as an illegal. So now it needs to be seen how long it needs to be seen by when, because the Balochis have already declared their independence from Pakistan. Yes, Devika.
Right, absolutely. Aditya, stay on with me. More breaking news coming in. The governments of United States and Turkey have released a joint statement regarding the country's Syria Working Group. The statement announced that the United States and Turkey are committed to increasing cooperation and coordination on stability and security in Syria, as outlined by both President Trump and President Erdogan. This comes after the US and Turkey held talks of the Syria Working Group in Washington. Notably, the delegations discussed shared priorities in Syria, which included combating terrorism in all its forms and manifestations. In their statement, both countries have said that they recognize the importance of maintaining the territorial integrity of Syria and that Syria does not offer a safe haven for terrorist organizations. Aditya, take our viewers through the details.
Well, absolutely. The US side has with the Turkish side, and during this meeting, there were talks between the two sides. How can they build a stable Syria in the times to come? Because recently, US President Donald Trump was on a trip to Syria where he met the Syrian president also, and he talked about how about restructuring the Syria's economy and removing the terrorism from Syria. As far as this meeting is concerned between the American and the Turkish side, there were discussions, to give the sanctions relief to Syria so that, it could carry on with its development. Suddenly, that it is, as far as the US foreign policy is concerned, it is a very surprise turn of events because, it is for a very long time that a US president has visited Syria. And, let us also inform our viewers that sometime back, US President Donald Trump had ordered airstrikes on ISIS militants in Syria, ISIS terrorists in Syria. Now, it needs to be seen from here on how, the entire geopolitical scenario in the Middle East shapes, post this meeting between the US President Donald Trump and the Turkish side. Yes, Devika, back to you.
Okay, Aditya, stay on with me. More news coming in. United States President Donald Trump has unveiled new details on his plans for a missile defense system known as the Golden Dome, which is estimated at a cost of $175 billion. The Golden Dome will be the first weapon the US puts in space, and it should be operational about 3 years by the end of Donald Trump's tenure. Trump and his team have officially finalized the architecture of the futuristic defense system that he announced just days after returning to the White House in January. At the time, the Republicans said that the system would be aimed at countering next generation of aerial threats to the US, including ballistic and cruise missiles. Listen in.
Promised the American people that I would build a cutting-edge missile defense shield to protect our homeland from the threat of foreign missile attack. And that's what we're doing. Today I'm pleased to announce that we have officially selected an architecture for this state-of-the-art system that will deploy next-generation technologies across the land, sea, and space, including space-based sensors and interceptors. And Canada has called us, and they want to be a part of it. So we'll be talking to them. They want to have protection also. So as usual, we help Canada do the best we can. This design for the Golden Dome will integrate with our existing defense capabilities and should be fully operational before the end of my term. So we'll have it done in about 3 years. Once fully constructed, the Golden Dome will be capable of intercepting missiles even if they are launched from other sides of the world and even if they are launched from space. And we will have the best system ever built. As you know, we helped Israel with theirs, and it was very successful, and now we have technology that's even far advanced from that, but including hypersonic missiles, ballistic missiles, and advanced cruise missiles. All of them will be knocked out of the air. We will truly be completing the job that President Reagan started 40 years ago, forever ending the missile threat to the American homeland, and the success rate is very close to 100%, which is incredible when you think of it. You're shooting bullets out of the air.
Interesting, Aditya. Developments taking place in the US, just as we're learning that China has also building a drone mothership. We've now learned that Donald Trump has very clear plans as far as securing American skies are concerned.
Well, absolutely, Devika. If you see, he's talking about this Golden Dome, to prevent any advanced aerial attacks on the United States in future. It is a very, it's a very imaginary statement, when Donald Trump says, because no other country in the world will, dare to launch an aerial strike on the United States of America. When he talks about this defense system, Golden Dome, similarly to the Iron Dome of Israel, he's referring to his vision of Make America Great Again. During his election speeches also, we have seen that we will strive to protect America. And, this is his completely his vision of Make America Great Again. And, he is leaving no stones unturned, to achieve that Make America Great Again vision with which he has come to presidency of the United States of America. And we can expect certain further similar measures in the future by the Donald Trump administration in the future too. Yes, Devika.
Okay, Aditya, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast with all those details. We step into a very quick break.
अगर आप बनना चाहते हैं एंकर या फिर आप में है जुनून एक तेज तर्रार न्यूज रिपोर्टर बनने का, तो आप ज्वाइन करें ITV और इंडिया न्यूज Newsx का मीडिया स्कूल। ITV नेक्स्ट मीडिया इंटरनेशनल स्कूल का कोर्स आपको मौका देता है देश के दिग्गज एंकर्स के साथ काम करने का। ITV नेक्स्ट मीडिया इंटरनेशनल स्कूल में आप बेहद नजदीकी से देख पाएंगे किस तरह से ITV नेटवर्क